We've all heard of this statistic called the Consumer Confidence Index, and it is a measure by which the state looks at people's attitudes about their lives, feeling confident about how things are going. Jesus as well seems to take into consideration the need for confidence as we live our faith, as he speaks to his disciples today. For as you recall, last week he spoke to them and told those who are poor, who mourn, who are disenfranchised, those who are cheated out of what is due to them, and says that they are blessed. And yet he seems to detect in them a difficulty of believing how they are blessed, and so he wants to give them confidence, self-confidence about themselves. We know ourselves that whenever things go wrong in our lives, it is our self-confidence that sometimes it takes a hit, and we begin to doubt ourselves and doubt whether or not we're able to go beyond the mourning of a death of a loved one, or go beyond the suffering that we have because of financial difficulty, or take the next step in our life because of disappointment. Jesus today gives each one of us, as he did to his early disciples, a boost in our confidence by reminding us and them that we are the salt of the earth and the light of the world. And there are different things, aspects about salt and light that should grab our attention. First of all, salt and light are inexhaustible. Salt is as plentiful and abundant as the vast seas on this planet Earth. And light, of course, comes to us from the sun. Both seem inexhaustible. It's a reminder to us that even in those tough moments, those difficult times, we still have the capacity to love, to go out of our way to help another. It's a reminder to us that the charity that we give, in fact, does come out of our ability to love that is inexhaustible. And so it's important for us to tap into that source. But it's also true that salt and light are directed outward to something else. Light needs an object in order to be seen. It hits an object, and that's how we can perceive it. So too, salt. It is in something that is not on its own. We don't sit around and just eat loads of salt. It has to be directed to something. And so too, when our lives are given in charity to others and love to others, we get out of ourselves. We begin to see the needs of other people and maybe forget our own troubles. And finally, salt and light have the ability to discover something new. When we salt popcorn or French fries or a nice steak, there is a new flavor that emerges from that. Discover a new flavor of whatever we're eating by that salt. And same too with light. We shine light in dark areas that maybe things that are hidden before now come to light for us. And so we delight in that discovery. So often in life, when we get out of ourselves and direct to the needs of other people, we can delight in the good that we do. We see that so often whenever we give something in charity to another person. We take time out for someone who's in need, forgetting ourselves and delighting in the good that we can do and the impact that we have on other people's lives. Each one of us have moments in which we doubt ourselves. We lose confidence because of the burdens and cares that we have. And Jesus reminds us today, once again, that we are salt and light to the world, that we have an inexhaustible capacity to love, even in those difficult moments. And when we do so and direct our love towards others, we begin to forget ourselves and maybe stop feeling sorry for ourselves. And also, it is something that we can delight in. But not only do we as individuals need to tap into that great source of love that God gives to us, but so do we as a community, as a church. You know, the church has suffered in many ways over these past few years with reputation, with criticism, and it does sometimes make us lose our confidence. Or maybe you've been in a parish through the Renew My Church program where your parish closed and you merged with another parish. There is a sense of loss there. But what the Lord is telling us as a community is that we need to, once again, tap into that confidence that allows us to go out of ourselves, that the Lord gives us a capacity to love that's inexhaustible, and that He wants us to delight in the new things that we can do in the situation that is given to us. That's why our giving is called charity. It ties it to that gift of love that we have. It's the ability for us to come together as individuals and as a community, to have a new confidence about our lives because of the inexhaustible capacity that God has given us to love, to come out of ourselves and direct our charity to others, but also to discover that the good that we do can do so much good for another, and delight in the fact that God has given us this great capacity to love, to be salt and light to the world.